The following is a production of CUTV Sports.
Good afternoon and welcome into CUTV's exclusive coverage of the PSAC Men's Final Four here at Gannon University in the Hammermill Center. As today the first matchup will be the IUP Crimson Hawks against the East Stroudsburg Warriors, the defending PSAC champions from 2014. I'm Zach Prosma. Joining me today is Cody Jeanette. And Cody, when we talk about these two teams, it's always tough to get to the Final Four, and these two teams have been there plenty of times in the last few years. Looking back at these last games, though, for both of these teams, they had to get through what you could really call the Elite Eight first. Yeah, back in the Elite Eight, Indiana took on Mercyhurst, the Lakers, and they came away with the 67-59 victory in that game. And one of the key players for IUP, Sean Dyer, got a double-double, 23 points and 10 rebounds. And also, Devontae Chance, be prepared. We are going to mention his name a lot. Perfect 8 for 8 from the free throw line. And as for East Stroudsburg, they had a home game against Millersville, and they got the big home win in that one, 79-62. And a little interesting thing to note in the first half, Zach, East Stroudsburg outscored Millersville 41-26 in the first half. So East Stroudsburg, I know you and I were talking about this before, they are all about their offense, and they show no mercy very early on in the first half, and just like they did against Millersville. Yeah, both of these teams have storied programs, and they've met before. The last meeting happened this season it was actually the first matchup of the new year for both of these teams. So, that long break could have affected the game, but both of these teams, they came out firing. Just one team ended up on top. Yeah, and that game was back on January 3rd, 2015. IUP got the victory in that one, 78-63, after they took the trek across the state to face on the Warriors of East Stroudsburg. And for IUP, Devontae Chance, again, 23 points in that game, leading the IUP scorers. And Daddy Ubede dominated the boards, getting 8 rebounds in that one. But East Stroudsburg had a couple players to be recognized as well. Rashid Moore got 20 points in that game, and Steve Harris dominated the boards for East Stroudsburg, getting the 8 rebounds also. And quickly, we'll take a look at the PSAC men's bracket right now. And looking at the teams that fell beforehand, we already mentioned some of the other ones, and the next game will have Gannon and Kutztown as well. Yeah, the Final Four consists of IUP, Gannon, and Kutztown and East Stroudsburg. You'll see Gannon and Kutztown later, but Mercyhurst, Millersville, Slippery Rock, and Westchester all drew the short ends of the stick in their Elite Eight games. So they went them falling to their respective opponents. All we have left are 4 teams, and it gets underway here today at the Hammermill. Yeah, both of them looking for a shot to clinch an automatic berth to the NCAA playoffs. A lot of them with implications that they need to win to get into the NCAAs. So we will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have more from the Hammermill Center here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
And we are back here on CUTV in the Hammermill Center, where we are preparing for IUP against East Stroudsburg in the first Final Four matchup of the 2014
PSAC basketball championship on the men's side. And Cody, we talked about the teams now, but we have to talk about some of the players that make these teams get as far as they have this season. And we'll start with East Stroudsburg, and the guy we're looking at, Matt Tobin, PSAC East Player of the Year, but he is, in the best way possible to say it, he's an unorthodox choice for that award.
Yeah, he really is, because when you take a look at it, he's not really that dominant of a scorer for the Warriors. In fact, since the Player of the Year award was started to be given out in 1988, he is the first player to win it that averages under 10 points a game. No other player in the PSAC has ever done that. So just like you said, Matt Tobin, he gets the assists, though. He leads in assists and assist to turnover ratio. So that's how he gets the job done. He doesn't necessarily score the points, but he makes the plays.
And then looking at IUP, we mentioned his name a couple times throughout the first segment of our open here, and it's Devontae Chance. And I don't think there was really any doubt that he was one of the best in the PSAC overall this season.
Yeah, there was no question. Devontae Chance averages 16.2 points per game, one of the top scorers on the Crimson Hawks squad. And from the free throw line, Devontae has an 83% success rate, which might be the top, if not one of the top free throw shooters on this entire team. Just like we mentioned before, he went a perfect 8 for 8 against Mercyhurst in the Elite 8 game.
And talking about these two teams, Cody, we've seen that both of them are very offensive-minded, and we look at the tail of the tape now, East Stroudsburg on the left, IUP on the right. What's something that stands out for both of these teams that you think could help them win the game?
Well, the top thing, of course, for East Stroudsburg, 83.8 points per game compared to IUP's 75.5. East Stroudsburg is definitely offensively minded. They get the points and they do whatever they need to do to get the points on the board. But for IUP, you got to take a look at the free throw percentage. They control that category by about 6 1/3%, 77.7 to 71.4, and that's especially thanks to shooters like Devontae Chance, who have such high success rates from the charity stripe. And of course, the turnovers are very even, but the steals heavily favor East Stroudsburg as well, getting those turnovers and creating those offensive opportunities that they're so well known for.
And actually, you know what? We had a little bit of a conversation with East Stroudsburg's SID before the beginning of the game, or at least I did, and I was talking to him, and he said when East Stroudsburg has a turnover margin of 5 or greater in their favor, they've only lost like 7 games in the last maybe 10 years or so. So those turnovers are really the big thing that causes their game to excel, and why they won the PSAC championship last year and why they're here this year.
Yeah, I mean, when you get the turnovers to go your way, that just creates more offensive opportunities. Two of my favorite stats in basketball are the turnovers and the offensive rebounds, because those are the ones that I believe just create the most offensive opportunities for your team that you might have. Because if you get those second and third, sometimes even fourth chances to put more points on the board, you'll score more points than your opponent, and you will win games. And same thing as for the turnovers. That sends your ball down to your end of the court. So it just creates more time and more opportunity to get those points.
And quickly, we actually have the starters out for this game. Looking at IUP, it'll be Jeremy Jeffers, a forward. Devon Cottrell, a forward. Devontae Chance, the player we've mentioned before for IUP. Sean Dyer and Brandon Norfleet. And Sean Dyer has actually had experience playing not only for IUP, but against IUP as well, because he was at West Liberty last year in the NCAAs. And then looking at East Stroudsburg, we have Lamont Tillery and Rashid Moore as the 2 forwards, and the 3 guards, Jamal Nawana Mecca, Wes Grant, and Player of the Year in the East, Matt Tobin.
Yeah, and you were mentioning about Sean Dyer before. Just like we mentioned last game against Mercyhurst, he had that double-double. He got the 23 points and the 10 rebounds. So he's a force to be reckoned with on the court. You know, it's not just all about one particular player or anybody. This whole squad is meant to be reckoned with.
And we only have a few more seconds before the game will get underway. We will keep it live here for the national anthem. That will be happening here at Gannon University. We do not know who will be singing it. We have been told at least that somebody will be singing the anthem, so we'll keep it here live. Cody, what are your final thoughts before we get into this matchup?
Well, IUP's defense is going to be tested with East Stroudsburg's offense. That's the matchup that I'm looking for. When East Stroudsburg has the ball, what happens? That's all I want to know. What is going to happen whenever that goes down?
And we will go ahead and take the time to pause right now and get ready for the national anthem here on CUTV. And after the national anthem has concluded, we will be back for more coverage of the PSAC Men's Final Four. And actually, at the moment, Cody, they're not delaying the anthem, but there's another award, the Scholar Athlete Award for basketball, and that player happens to be on IUP's squad, a junior for IUP, and it's a great honor to be that Scholar Athlete in any sport. It shows student does come first in front of student athlete.
Yeah, it's the best of both worlds when you excel in the classroom and in the and on the court. Anthony Rocco, congratulations to him getting the Basketball Scholar Award. Look at that GPA, 3.743, and getting the job done in the classroom as well in the court. And that's what the PSAC strives to be, to excel in graduation rate and success as an athlete.
And now I think they are preparing for the national anthem. In just a moment, you see Rocco there after receiving his award. And now we will pause for the national anthem here on CUTV. And we are back here on CUTV after a beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. And now it's game time. Cody, finally, it's been anticipation for the last about half week or so for these teams. Looking at IUP, Coach Joe Lombardi, their starting lineup, we already said it before, but IUP has been here before. They've won titles over the last few years. They've actually won titles in 2013, 2011, 2010, and 04, and even dating back further than that. But you see the starters there for IUP. One name besides Chance that maybe stands out to you, Cody.
Sean Dyer. He's the one that is the other offensive asset that this Crimson Hawks squad has, getting the double-double last game against Mercyhurst with all the playoff pressure and that Elite Eight pressure down his back, still getting the job done. 23 points and 10 rebounds against the Lakers in that one. That's the name that sticks out to me, and that's the one player, along with Chance, maybe a few others, that East Stroudsburg needs to keep an extra eye on today.
And now we're going to go look over at the East Stroudsburg starters being announced. In East Stroudsburg, I mentioned before, they won the title last year, 2014. They also won it in 2012. And you look at the starters there for East Stroudsburg. We mentioned Matt Tobin, but Wes Grant and Jamal Nwanameka actually lead the team in scoring, both averaging 13 a game.
Yeah, they do, and I'm looking at Rashid Moore because the last time that these two teams played, Rashid Moore scored 20 points on the IUP defense. He really lit up the board, getting those 20 points on there, along with Steve Harris getting the 8 rebounds. But Rashid Moore really helped keep it close, at least for East Stroudsburg. They got the loss in that one, 78-63, but he kept the Warriors in the game.
Yeah, and we talked about the titles briefly, Cody, and there's actually an interesting statistic for East Stroudsburg when they get to the Final Four. And they've actually made it the last 6 years, and that's a rare feat for any team in the PSAC.
Yeah, it's actually the second time in 35 years, count them, 35 years, to make the semifinal round 6 times in a row. The other team was California back in the early 90s from the course of the 92 to 97 seasons. They were the only other team to do it in the past 35 years. East Stroudsburg was second.
And we are about ready to get underway. It's cold outside, but the action on the court is probably going to start heating up. Just quickly, your officials today: Mark Tortorella, Greg Tolson, Jeff Wagner, and the alternate is, last name is Brooks. His first name is not on the stats. I have the last stats loaded up. We're ready to go. And Cody, it's Final Four time.
Final Four.
We saw this last year with the women's. When we saw the Final Four, there were 2 great games. Let's hope for the best here. Looks like the tip is going to be between Devon Cottrell for IUP, as well as Rashid Moore for East Stroudsburg.
East Stroudsburg in the white jerseys, going from right to left. IUP in the black, going left to right.
And the tip is won by IUP and controlled by Brandon Norfleet. Chance now with it. He's running the offensive point for IUP. Hands it over to Cottrell, gets it back for himself. Guarded by Matt Tobin. The players of the year going up against each other. Now a 3 for Sean Dyer. No good, just rims out of bounds. They're going to say off of East Stroudsburg. A very tight call there, Cody.
Yeah, it looked like one of the East Stroudsburg players might have jumped up and tipped it out of bounds, going for the rebound to get the offensive opportunity going.
Chance will inbound it, throws it to Jeremy Jeffers, and he's wide open for the layup, and it's 2-0 IUP.
IUP striking first, but this is the first time East Stroudsburg has the ball now, and this is what I'm watching for. How will IUP's defense adapt to their hot offense?
Moore, down low, guard by Cottrell, throws it out. Tobin in the corner. He's trying to work in, circles around, throws it out for Wes Grant. Grant working in, loses the ball. Cottrell steals it away and throws it back to Norfleet, and IUP will bring it up. Chance with it now on the far wing. Gets a screen. Throws it down low for Cottrell. He's not able to handle it, and it's stolen away by Lamont Tillery. Tobin circling around, running layup, no good, just a little bit too strong, rebounded by Norfleet.
Norfleet just in the right place at the right time, getting that rebound before anyone else could.
Jeffers, a little bit of a head fake for the 3 in the far wing. Chance controls it now with 25 to shoot, 18:38 to go. Chance now for 3. That one's no good, rebounded by Rashid Moore, and actually goes into the hands of Wes Grant. Grant running quickly up the court. Layup is good, and we're all tied up at 2.
We're all tied up at 2. East Stroudsburg starting to light up the scoreboard too. They know that if they need a chance to win this game, they need to keep it close.
And it looked like East Stroudsburg was doing a full court trap press defense there. The IUP is able to break off of it now. Chance has it in the near wing, just under 20 to shoot. Gets a screen from Cottrell, takes a running jumper, no good, but there will be a foul on Matt Tobin. There'll be 2 shots coming for Chance.
And that's going to be the first foul of the game by either team. East Stroudsburg now has 1, IUP still has none.
And Chance at the line this year, you mentioned his numbers before, just under 83%, 82.6. One of the best on this team. Brandon Norfleet is actually the only one better than him that gets regular shots at the free throw line. The first is good for Chance, and IUP takes back the lead.
1 for 1. See if Chance is able to repeat another performance that he had against the Lakers, going for 8 for 8.
The second free throw for Chance. is no good. It just rims out. Rebounded by Tillery. Tobin throws it up now to Jamal Nwanameka. Nwanameka controls it in the corner, throws it down to Rasheed Moore. Rasheed Moore against Cottrell. Layup, no good, but there will be a foul now called against Devon Cottrell, and now each team has one.
And this time, Cottrell committing the foul. That's going to send East Stroudsburg to the charity stripe for the first time in this game.
We have 17 minutes and 48 seconds still to go in the first half. IUP with an early 3-2 lead. First free throw for Moore is good. He gets onto the board for the first time.
Rasheed Moore on the season, a 71% shooter from the charity stripe.
Moore ready for his second. And that one is no good. So IUP and East Stroudsburg both splitting their free throws. IUP, though, on a run now. Jeffers thought about a three, but he's going to get called for a travel after stutter stepping his feet after looking at that shot.
It looked like Jeffers didn't really know what to do, whether he should continue attacking the post or just stop and take a quick jumper. And sometimes when your brain thinks too quickly, your feet will move before you officially decide what to do.
Tobin will now control it for East Stroudsburg. Throws it over to Wes Grant. Grant looking for an outlet, throws it over to Tobin in the far wing. Back to Grant. Grant trying to drive in, loses the ball. Tobin is there to secure it. Along the baseline, throws it over to Tillery in the corner for three, and it is good.
The first three-pointer of the game belongs to Tillery from the near corner, and those three-point shots, they are not easy to make.
That's Jeffers trapped. He throws it up to Sean Dyer, who's able to break the press and get it across half court. East Stroudsburg trying to say that Dyer went out of bounds, and he was very close to it, at least. IUP down 6-3. Norfleet 4-3, and he ties it up right back after East Stroudsburg makes a three of their own.
We're all tied up. It's just a question and answer with these two squads, and the matter is who will have the last answer.
Rasheed Moore for three now. That one no good. Easy rebound for Sean Dyer. He's had a couple of them already, trying to replicate that 10 rebound performance he had in the last round. Dyer, spin around. Layup no good. That's going to be a jump ball. Possession favors East Stroudsburg with 16.5 to go. And we will get some early subs. Coming in for IUP is number 10, Tevin Hanner, and number 44, Daddy Ubede. Also coming in for East Stroudsburg, number 32, Steve Harris. He's in for Rasheed Moore, and there were a couple other subs. I was not able to catch them as they came off the bench. I actually do see one now, number 13, Will Brown, and also number 21, Mohamedou Kaba. Tobin with the ball now, throws it over for three, no good for East Stroudsburg. That was Nwanameka attempting the shot. Dyer, coming up with it. Norfleet now with it, trying to drive in. He's heavily guarded by Tobin. Pass almost tipped. Chance throws it out. Dyer 4-3, top of the key. No good. Rebounded by Brendan Norfleet. Layup is good. IUP with the easy second chance layup.
That was a key second chance for IUP to capitalize on, because East Stroudsburg had three defenders where only IUP had only one offensive rebounder, and IUP still got it.
Nwanameka controls it. Almost travels. The refs are going to say he was contacted, and that's why he moved his feet. Now with it is Brown. He throws it to Nwanameka and Tobin at the top of the key. Tobin steps in, throws it back out for Kaba, and that's going to be a turnover for East Stroudsburg. 15:27 to go. Media timeout coming up.
Yeah, Kaba had a travel on that one, so that's what drew the turnover for East Stroudsburg.
And with 15:27 to go, we are going to go to commercial break. We will be right back with more action of the men's Final Four here on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And we are back. IUP with an early 8-6 lead, under 16 minutes to go in the first half. And Cody, so far it's been a game of a couple forced turnovers and a lot of trying to play defense, but the offense isn't really working.
And a lot of question and answer as well. Whenever we see a shot made, the other team answers right back with a shot of their own.
Norfleet now with it for IUP. Throws it over to Hanner. In the corner now, chance down low to Daddy Ubede, a transfer from Drake University. Going around, throws up the shot, and it's good. Ubede makes his first two of the game.
Ubede on the season averages 11 points a game, and he gets his first two on the board right now to extend the Crimson Hawk lead.
And he is one of the tallest players, and I'm going to say East Stroudsburg stepped out of bounds as number 13, Will Brown, a senior guard, makes not such a senior mistake there, stepping out, similar to, if any of you at home follow the NBA, Russell Westbrook at the end of the game a couple nights ago, he stepped out of bounds with like a second left to basically lose his team the game.
Yeah, and sometimes you forget where that out of bounds line is, or it might seem like it's farther away from you than it actually is. So it happens every once in a while, but it's something that teams definitely don't like to see.
We were seeing IUP basically use it as an extra defender, sort of like you do in football on the sidelines. Ubede now with it, trying to drive in. He's going to get called for a travel after jumping up and moving his feet again. You can't do that. Ubede gets called for the turnover.
Yeah, the shot is not going to count, even though it fell through. Ubede took a couple extra steps that he didn't really need to, so it's going to be a turnover.
Now this is Wis Grant for East Stroudsburg with it. Throws it over to Kaba. Down low for Steve Harris. Harris, little hook is good. It just floats in. And East Stroudsburg back within two.
East Stroudsburg going with a full court press here.
Now Cornell Yard with it for IUP. Down low to Ubede. Actually, no, it's Tevin Hanner. He loses the ball. Almost thrown away again by IUP. East Stroudsburg comes out of the scrum with it, though. That's Brown.
You give credit to Kaba there, diving on top of that ball. I thought he was going to kick it for a second, but manages to scramble out with before the official blew the whistle.
Tobin out to Kaba. Tobin with it again. Now Grant. Grant down low to Steve Harris. Steve Harris layup, no good. They're going to say that it was a blocked shot. Should have been a jump ball, but the layup is good and we're all tied up. Chance is trapped. Tries to throw it out. Behind his back to Norfleet.
What
nice
a pass there. What a pass by Chance.
And that's why he's player of the year.
It's like he had eyes in the back of his head.
Chance with it now. 20 to shoot. 13 minutes to go in the first half. Chance, three from just around the key. No good. Tip back out by IUP. Norfleet there to secure the offensive board.
And there's that offensive rebound while resetting the shot clock at the same time. So that's where the time management element of a game kicks in.
Chance looking for an outlet. He's just going to circle around the defense for East Stroudsburg. Looked like East Stroudsburg's running sort of a man-to-man with a little bit of zone mixed in there as well. And there's going to be a foul called against East Stroudsburg right now. This one's going to go on Wis Grant, number 11. That's his first.
And that is the second. That's the second foul of the half for East Stroudsburg. IUP still only has one.
And a couple subs coming in. Sean Dyer in for Brandon Norfleet. In for East Stroudsburg is Rashid Moore, Lamont Tillery, and Jamal Nawana Mecca. They are all back in. All three of them were starters for East Stroudsburg. Yard, little jumper, gets the friendly roll from the backboard and it spins in.
All the way around the rim and sinking through. That puts IUP back on top again. 12 to 10.
Nawana Mecca going in, layup for him, no good. Tip out and rebounded by Tevin Hanner. Dyer coming up with it now for IUP. Dyer, a graduate student transfer from West Liberty who is traditionally a power in the Atlantic region. Dyer's three-pointer is no good, rebounded by Moore. Grant to Brown. Brown throws it back out to Grant. East Stroudsburg looking for an answer to at least try and tie it or possibly take a lead if they can make a three. Under 12 minutes to go here in the first half, 11:42 to be exact. Grant will back it out with 13 to shoot for East Stroudsburg and try and set something up. Grant will be fouled now. Looks like that's going to go against Ugbede, and it will. That will also bring us to our second media timeout. 11:36 to go. We'll take another commercial break. IUP up 12-10 on East Stroudsburg in early action of the PSAC Men's Final Four.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And we are back, IUP with an early lead in men's Final Four action. And Cody, what have you seen so far that makes this such a close game?
Well, what I've seen right now is with East Stroudsburg's defense, they've really been keeping IUP at bay for the most of the time. Most of the shots have been either jumpers or long three-pointers. There haven't been too many drives down the lane for layups. Mind you, there still are some, but the defense from the paint outward is still an asset for the Warriors right now.
Tobin driving in, feeds it to Moore. Moore's layup, no good, just rims out. Could have been an and-one opportunity. We'll see who the foul goes on. Looks like this is going on Ugbede. That would be his second.
That's going to go against Ubede. You're exactly right, Zach. That's his second of the game, and IUP's third team foul. East Stroudsburg still only has 2.
Moore will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws on the year. Rashid Moore just about 71% from the line. He makes the first.
And that brings East Stroudsburg back to within 1. So this is where the free throws really come into play. If a team were to miss too many free throws, then they'll look back on that depending on how big their deficit is.
And Moore makes both. So after East Stroudsburg split their first time going to the line, Moore's able to make both. IUP still 1 of 2 at the line so far in this game. Dyer brings it up for IUP. He's running up, feeds it down low. Cottrell back out to Jeffers. Jeffers takes a 3, top of the key. It's no good. Trying to get the offensive rebound was Cottrell, but it tips out of bounds off his fingertips. East Stroudsburg ball.
Yeah, Cottrell couldn't really pull that one in. It looked like he was just too far away from it, extending his left arm out, getting and the ball just rolled right off of his fingers and out of bounds.
Tobin with it now for East Stroudsburg. Call his name a lot, but he's not really done a whole lot. Only 1 assist so far in this game for him. Tobin circling around, throws it out, and it's going into the seats. It's a turnover for East Stroudsburg.
And it looked like Wiz Grant might have been able to reach up and get that pass, but might have thought that it got tipped by one of the IUP defenders, so he let it go. He let it go out of bounds, so it was a risky move to let that one go, and it resulted in a turnover.
Yeah, in championship play, you have to fight for those loose balls. That could help you win a game here and there. Chance throws it out. Jeffers driving in. Layup for him is good. A nice little floater inside.
And right now, whoever lets the other offense drive down the baseline like that to score more layups is going to lose the game in my mind, because that's where a defense is at its weakest, when you're right under the basket.
Tillery is in the corner now for East Stroudsburg with an 18 to shoot. Whisk Grant for 3. That one's no good. Rebounded by Cottrell. IUP looking to extend their 2-point lead with 10:06 to go. Shot no good for IUP. Rebounded by Devon Cottrell. Jeffers thought about 3. Now steps over, steps inside. Gives it to Dyer. Back out into the corner for Yard.
He thought about it. He thought about that 3, but pulled back at the last second.
And IUP has so much time to work with, still 20 to shoot, but you've seen a lot of really good, crisp passes from them today to set up their offense. Chance steps in for a long 2. No good. Rebounded by Jeremy Jeffers. What a tip there for him.
Offensive control.
In the corner now, 3-pointer for Cornell. Yard is good, and it's a 17-12 IUP lead.
IUP gets the 5-point lead now, 9:25 left to go. East Stroudsburg's offense is going to be tested here.
Tillery steps in for a long 2. His foot was on the line. It's no good. Rebounded by Dyer.
Even though that shot missed, that was still good patience by Tillery to wait for Yard to pass him up.
Now Chance trying to drive in for a layup. The shot is no good. He will be fouled and go to the line for 2 shots.
That is the 3rd team foul for East Stroudsburg. IUP also has 3. That foul is going on Matt Tobin.
And that is Tobin's 2nd foul. We're going to get a timeout taken by East Stroudsburg coach Jeff Wilson. He probably just wants his team to calm down, figure out what's going on. This is the largest lead for IUP in this game so far at 5 points.
That's exactly what I was going to say. East Stroudsburg really doesn't want to let this game slip away from them. And if you're just joining us, this is what you've missed. Back and forth offensive play by both squads very early on in this game. It's been taking complete control by neither team. It's really been back and forth all game long, but the coach for East Stroudsburg is sensing right now that IUP might be taking some dominance here and just taking a timeout to let their teams cool off for a minute.
Yeah, one of the best ways to cool off a rhythm for the other team is to take a timeout and give your team some time to prepare and try and figure out a defensive set to work with. We actually talked about it during break that East Stroudsburg has been running a combination of some zones. One of them was a 1-3-1, and IUP was easily breaking it. They weren't having success getting inside, but those long shots were starting to work for them. They weren't making them, but they could get them off.
Well, with the 1-3-1 defense, you have those holes wide open on the wings unless you shift a little bit. So that's no wonder why the long shots have been working so far for IUP.
Chance's first free throw is no good, so he will not be able to replicate the 8-for-8 performance he had against Mercyhurst in the 2nd round. The 2nd for the senior player of the year in the West is good and gives IUP a 6-point lead.
9:10 left to go in the first half. It's 18-12 in favor of Indiana.
And Chance will check out Brandon Norfleet, a transfer from Cheney who was actually the East Freshman of the Year a couple years ago, is in for IUP. Brown over to Nawana Mecca. Tobin in with those 2 fouls. Coach Jeff Wilson confident he can maintain his play. Brown feeds it back to Tobin, who will step out just in front of the half-court line with 13 to shoot to set the offense. Tobin feeds it over. Dyer's able to steal it away, ride the sideline, go in for the layup, just too strong. Rebounded by East Stroudsburg.
Dyer saw that one like an eagle. He knew Tobin was going to pass it.
Will Brown 3-pointer is good and almost rimmed out, but it got the friendly spin from the Hammer Mill center backboard.
Another friendly spin. We saw one for IUP earlier on over at the far end. So maybe the rims are favoring the players here today.
And usually it's the home friendly role, but both of these teams are on a neutral court.
Exactly.
East Stroudsburg has been designated as the home team. Dyer 3-pointer no good. And East Stroudsburg coming up with it down by 3. Tobin. Nawana Mecca with it, and he'll slow it down to try and reset the offense. Moore is going to take a 3. It's good, and we're all tied up.
And there's that timeout working. East Stroudsburg took a timeout. They went on a 6-0 run since.
And Moore on the year coming into this game, only 13 for 41 from deep, now 14 of 42. That's a clean 33% for the forward. IUP with it now. Norfleet trying to drive in, takes the jumper. It's no good. Easy rebound though for Jeremy Jeffers. He throws up a shot, no good. Rebounded by East Stroudsburg.
Tobin coming up the court.
Tobin throws it out to Brown, and Now Kaba, down low to Moore, layup, no good. And there's going to be a foul behind the back against IUP, I believe. They're going to say it's against number 11 for IUP, Jeremy Jeffers. And that brings us to our third media timeout of the game, 7:16 to go. We'll take another break, all tied up after IUP was trying to pull away here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
And we are back in the Hammermill Center on the campus of Gannon University, where we are all tied up at 18 between IUP and East Stroudsburg. And filing in, if you can see across the screen, looks like Gannon and Kutztown are both starting to arrive, and they're going to see, these teams are tied right now, 7:16 to go in the first half. And Cody, if you're walking in with Kutztown, what would you see? Is what I'm trying to basically say. What would you see from that tight score?
All I see is a potential opponent and a potential very close game, because Kutztown knows what they're capable of, and they're capable of stepping up to the levels of either one of these teams, so they know they're in for a heck of a game.
Will Brown, corner three is good, and East Stroudsburg has a 3-point lead now. That's the first time East Stroudsburg has had a lead in quite some time. Now there's going to be a foul called against East Stroudsburg. This one is going to go on Will Brown, who just made that 3-pointer from the corner.
Yeah, that is, both teams now have 14 fouls in the half. That is East Stroudsburg's fourth, but Will Brown just reaching in a little too far, trying to go for that ball.
Chance back into the game for IUP after he got a little bit of a breather. Will bring it up the court for the Crimson Hawks. Ball lost. IUP diving on the court. East Stroudsburg comes up with it. Whisk Grant going to the basket. Layup is good, and East Stroudsburg has a 5-point lead. This is their largest of the contest so far.
Boy, and Tevin Hanner going down to defend, showing all that speed. Is very lucky he didn't get a foul called on him. It looked like he was about to charge into the East Stroudsburg shooter, but was able to lay off at the last second.
Chance, 3-pointer, no good, rims out. Rebounded by Whisk Grant. Grant trying to throw it up to Nawana Mecca, but there's going to be a foul called against IUP. This might be going against Chance after he inadvertently hit Grant trying to throw up the ball.
And you're exactly right, Zach. It's going to go against Devontae Chance, and that is their 5th team foul of the half. East Stroudsburg still only has 4, but right now, this is when you start watching the foul count, because the last thing a team wants to do, especially going close to halftime, is send a team into bonus.
East Stroudsburg has only been to the line 4 times. IUP only 4 times as well. Nawana Mecca throws it over, and now Kabah controls it. With it now for East Stroudsburg is Jaquan Jones, fresh into the game for his first time. Trying to step in. Now taking a 3 for East Stroudsburg. That's good. That's Whisk Grant. We've really started to call his name in the last few seconds.
East Stroudsburg is starting to adapt to IUP's man defense, and they know exactly where the opportunities are, and they're capitalizing on them.
And IUP, Cody, you and I have seen them a couple times this year broadcasting the California games, and it's very rare that IUP finds themselves down by 8 points with 5.5 minutes to go in a half.
Very rare.
Dyer going in for the layup. There will be a foul called against East Stroudsburg, and the ball actually ended up on the couch on the far side for Gannon.
It took a seat. took a seat on the couch. But that's going to be the fifth foul for East Stroudsburg. So both teams now have 5 team fouls in the half. 5:27 left in the half. So they've got some time to work with still, and a couple fouls to give.
Dyer will go to the line for 2 shots. They're going to say the foul was on Mohamedou Kaba. That is his first. The first for Dyer is no good. And Sean Dyer has been really cleaning up on the rebounds so far. A graduate student I mentioned from West Liberty. In the game, Sean Dyer has 3 rebounds, but he's yet to score 0 for 5 from the floor.
And that's not like Dyer, especially with the offensive opportunities he's capable of.
He finally gets his first point in the contest, makes it a 7-point deficit for IUP, 5:25 to go. Jones to Grant. This is the first time I've not seen Matt Tobin out on the court for East Stroudsburg. Steve Harris with it down low. He has 4 points, and that shot is blocked by Devon Cottrell and rebounded by Devontae Chance.
But Steve Harris met his match down on the baseline getting that shot blocked. He didn't see that coming at all.
Sean Dyer, field goal still no good. He's not yet to make a shot from the floor. He's 0 for 5 from distance as well. East Stroudsburg with a chance to extend their 7-point lead, under 5 to go. 3-pointer, Nwana Mecca, no good. Rebounded by Dyer.
It's looking like the players on the court right now are starting to get tired. We haven't seen subs in a long time. So these players might be running out of gas here a little bit, but it's close to halftime, so they only got a few more minutes left.
I can see a few subs for each team down by the scores table to come in. Dyer, that's going to be an offensive foul against Sean Dyer. Everything just not going his way in the first half. He's looking around trying to see, what did I do? And that's his first personal foul. That's 6 now for IUP. That effectively puts East Stroudsburg in the bonus.
Yeah, Steve Harris was just toppled over by IUP, so that's what drew the foul. And now East Stroudsburg is going to get another chance here with 4:22 left to get more points on the board. But just like you said, Zach, 6 team fouls for IUP.
Sean Dyer takes a seat now after that foul. Wes Grant trying to drive in against Norfleet at the free throw stripe. Throws it to Rasheed Moore. Jumper, no good. Rebounded by Cornell Yard.
In the right place at the right time. Cornell Yard getting another rebound on the board.
Chance going to slow it down and bring it up for the Crimson Hawks. In the corner, that's Norfleet, 4-3. It's good, and IUP back within 2 possessions.
Those 3-point shots from the corner are not easy to make. That's very impressive.
Down low, there's going to be a travel called against East Stroudsburg. That is Lamont Tillery. He was bumped, it looked like, and that's what made him shuffle his feet. And that's going to be the last play as we reach our final media timeout. 3:38 to go. East Stroudsburg trying to hold on to a 4-point lead on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And we are back. East Stroudsburg with a 4-point lead over IUP in the final few minutes of the first half. And Cody, we have a little bit of a stat update. Right now, IUP is actually out rebounding East Stroudsburg, but East Stroudsburg shooting much better, especially from distance. 5 of 9 on 3-pointers already.
And that's what East Stroudsburg is known for, their red-hot offense. They get the offensive opportunities made, but IUP has been capitalizing on their misses.
Inbounds pass goes to Jeremy Jeffers. Now Chance will bring it up. 3:33 to go. in the first half. Norfleet running layup, no good. Rebounded by East Stroudsburg. And for those of you at home watching, we will have a full halftime show as this ball goes out of bounds off IUP. But that's what I was saying, we will have a full halftime show looking at the bracket for the PSAC again. Also looking at the women's tournament going on currently right now. Westchester and IUP are actually playing over at Bloomsburg University, as well as some of the other tournaments that affect the Atlantic region in which the PSAC calls home. Now pass from Tobin, intercepted by Brandon Norfleet.
Tobin didn't see Norfleet at all right there, right at the foul line, just snatching the ball out of the air.
Norfleet trying to do his best. Akwasi Owuzu Ansah, for those of you that follow IUP football, you know he was one of the great defensive backs for IUP's history. Norfleet has the top of the key, 13 to shoot, 2:45 to go. IUP taking their time, under 10 to shoot. Norfleet to Chance. Chance gonna take a heavily guarded three, puts up the shot. It's no good. I don't believe Chance has made a three-point shot yet this game.
Chance has been relatively quiet during this game with the exception of a few rebounds.
Rebounded by IUP, and actually looking at the last stat update, Chance and Dyer are 0 for 11 combined from the field right now, and you need those two players going. That's why IUP faces this 4-point deficit. Yard out to Norfleet. Chance with it now. Thought about a three. Gets a screen from Cottrell. Chance, layup, no good, but he'll be fouled and go to the line for 2 shots. This foul's gonna go on number 13, Will Brown.
And that's going to be the 6th team foul for East Stroudsburg. So both teams now, with 2 minutes left, have 6 team fouls. None of them have one left to give. So one more foul by either squad will send their opponent into the single bonus.
Chance at the line today, 2 of 4 so far. Make it 3 of 5 as he nets his 3rd point of the contest. He also has 4 assists.
We're seeing a substitution come into the game. Tevin Hanner checking in from the IUP bench.
And it looks like that's Jeremy Jeffers checking out for the Crimson Hawks. Chance trying to make his 2nd as well, bring him within a 2-point game. He is able to. He's now 4 of 6 at the line. All 4 of his points at the line today. Under 2 minutes to go now in the first half. Wes Grant controls it for East Stroudsburg. Nawana Mecca back to Grant. In the corner, Brown with it. Moore, back to Brown. Trying to go around Norfleet, he does. Throws it out in the corner. That is Tillery. IUP playing really good defense here in this set and try and keep it within a 1-possession game. Grant trapped in the corner. That's a 3 for Tillery. It's no good. Rebounded by Grant, and East Stroudsburg can reset their offense with 1:22 to go.
Well, IUP changed up their defensive plan. Right now they're going with the double trap on the ball and instead of the man-to-man. So they might be, actually it looks like they might have just changed back, but that's what they were doing in their last sequence, and it really threw the Warriors off.
Rasheed Moore down low. Hook shot. Gets the friendly roll, and it's back to a 4-point lead for East Stroudsburg.
And that's what they're more familiar with, how to get around the man-to-man defense. We have a whistle here on the court.
Looks like the ball just rolled away and they had to reset the out-of-bounds play. But well, actually, we're going to get a timeout called by IUP off of that. So, Cody, back to what you were saying, East Stroudsburg and their offense, those shots that they've been making so far, they had trouble with that half-court trap that IUP was running, but as soon as it went back to man-to-man, they clicked right again.
Yeah, they were going for the half-court trap or down in the corner. You know, as you see, normally 2 players go onto the ball like that. As we take a look at the team leaders in terms of offense and defense also for IUP, Devontae Chance completely dominating the list except for rebounding, which is where Dyer finds his spot. But Devontae Chance, we've mentioned him all game long, and right now he's been really quiet in this game with the exception of a few rebounds and a few free throws. As you look at the team leaders for East Stroudsburg also, their offense completely spread out. Two players leading scoring with 13 points a game, and there isn't one that takes the whole entire sheet like it does with IUP. So that's what the Warriors are known for, their complete controlled offense.
Yeah, those 2 players are Nawana Mecca and Wes Grant, who both average 13 a game. Nawana Mecca has not scored yet. Wes Grant has at least 7 from our last stat update. Under a minute to go, 50 seconds to be exact. Devontae Chance with it now for IUP, trying to keep close, down by 2 possessions at the moment.
East Stroudsburg going with a 1-2-2 defense now, it looks like.
12 to shoot. Chance going to the hoop. Running layup is good. Chance, that's his first made shot of the game. East Stroudsburg can hold it for final possession, and I think West Grant just realized that.
Yeah, they have less than 30 seconds left.
Moore, jumper is good. Now IUP can't control it at the end of the half with 15 seconds to go. Jeffers gonna bring it up, throw it to Norfleet, down low. That's Hanner, his shot blocked. East Stroudsburg has a few more seconds to get something off. 6 to be exact. East Stroudsburg coming up the floor. West Grant going to the hoop. Layup is good and a foul. East Stroudsburg, that's the exclamation point they needed at the end of this half. Now up by 6 and could make it 7 with 1.7 seconds to go.
That is big. Not only big for East Stroudsburg to go down the hoop and try to make something happen, but to get the basket to fall through and draw the foul at the same time. East Stroudsburg has a lot going for them right now. 32-26, they lead it, and IUP has their heels against the wall, but we've seen them bounce back before. They're fully capable of it.
West Grant at the line. His free throw is good. IUP has just under 2 seconds to get something into the hoop before the end of the half. Dyer having trouble even inbounding it. Throws it up. It's taken away by East Stroudsburg. That's Tillery and Cody. This first half has been something else. East Stroudsburg starting to build a run at the end.
Yeah, and it was a shift of momentum, complete shift of momentum, because we saw IUP get a 5 or 6 point lead or something like that, give or take a couple of points if I might be wrong. And then East Stroudsburg took that timeout and have taken complete control of this game since.
And we will take a short break. When we come back, we'll have a full halftime show recapping this first half as well as some of the other action going on in the Atlantic region here on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And we are back here on CUTV. East Stroudsburg with a 33-26 lead over the 3rd seed from the West, IUP, after the conclusion of the first half. And Cody, it's been a wild game so far, and you kind of said this before, and I think it all really has come down to that East Stroudsburg timeout when IUP started to look like they were getting on a run.
Well, that was the event changer, the East Stroudsburg timeout, because as soon as they took it with the 5 or 6 point deficit, we saw their offense really light up. And taking a look, these are just a few of the shots that East Stroudsburg made in the first half. But of course, IUP's been doing a phenomenal job at keeping it close. You're going to see a lot of baskets made from underneath for East Stroudsburg and a lot of long jumpers and 3-pointers for IUP, with the exception of a few, like this one by Devontae Chance. But that's how the offenses have been getting their opportunities, respectively. East Stroudsburg has been charging the paint, charging the posts, while IUP has been falling back a little more and taking the long jumpers and the long threes, but which might explain why IUP might have a little bit of a deficit, because they're tougher to make. So if East Stroudsburg gets the rebounds, then that creates more opportunity for themselves.
Yeah, and IUP, they're having trouble shooting the ball as well. Devontae Chance only 1 made shot in the first half, and that was towards the end, his little running layup. And Sean Dyer, another guy that we mentioned to keep an eye on, he's not made a single shot yet in the first half. He was 0 of 6 in our last check. We'll check it right now on our live stats. He is actually still 0 for 6, 1 of 2. And we are going to go ahead and look, Cody, at the PSAC divisional teams right now. And you look at the Eastern Division first team: Joe Bell from Mansfield, Corey Blake from Westchester, Dylan Edgar from Shippensburg, Wes Grant and Matt Tobin from East Stroudsburg, 2 players we've seen in this game, and Wally Hepburn from Lock Haven, the reigning, well, now that Tobin has taken over, he was the defending PSAC East Athlete of the Year. And then we'll look now at the opposite side for the second team. Kutztown, 3 of them there on that roster. Tyler Brooks, Tynell Fortune, a name you and I both know very well because he used to play California, and Josh Johnson. Kevin Larkin from Cheney, he was the leading freshman in terms of scoring in all of the nation in Division II. Rasheed Moore from East Stroudsburg, we've seen him put up 10 points, and Charles Pemberton from Mansfield.
And you're going to see Kutztown play later against Gannon, so you'll get to see Brooks, Fortune, and Johnson in action whenever that broadcast happens. So that's the thing that's been really holding the team together, and it makes complete sense why they're in the Final Four, because they have players like that making the first and second teams. You saw there were a few East Stroudsburg players on first team. And looking at the West Division first team, Adam Blazik from Gannon, we have mentioned his name a lot. Adam Blazik, one of the top scorers in Gannon's school history. Antonio Butler for Slippery Rock, also a top scorer. Devontae Chance for Indiana, we've mentioned him from the Open onward. And there's been a few presences in this game that have really shut Devontae Chance down, though. So it seems like if East Stroudsburg wants to win this one, they're doing it right, getting the one of the West Division first team players shut down.
And then looking at the second team, Sean Dyer from IUP, Richard Smith, a transfer coming in his first year, able to make the second team in the West from California. Rafael Thomas Edwards of Gannon, who you'll see later. Ian Vescovi, the second UPJ player, as well as AJ Leahy, who made the first team. Dre Williams from Mercyhurst, and David Windsor from Seton Hill. And we will take one more break. We'll come back, look at some of the other scores and stats from this game as well, here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
And we are back in the Hammermill Center, where East Stroudsburg has a 33-26 lead over IUP. And we'll go ahead and look, Cody, at some of the other awards that have gone through the PSAC. Freshman of the Year in the West, Jamin Mason for Edinboro. He helped Edinboro get back into the PSAC playoffs for the first time in a couple years, along with Henri Wade Chapman looking as well throughout the West in some of the awards for the PSAC. As we'll move on. Actually, we're going to go Freshman of the Year in the East. Kevin Larkin, I mentioned his name before. He is the leading scorer among freshmen in all of Division II. I believe just over 18 points a game.
And righteously so that the men's basketball East Freshman of the Year goes to Kevin Larkin. If you are able to put points up for your team as a freshman, let alone, you've got a bright future ahead of you, a bright remaining 3 years with your team, and you'll continue to put points on the board. As we continue looking at the defensive athlete for the year, it goes to a Darius Porter over at Gannon. You're going to see Gannon play later on.
Yeah, and Darius Porter is actually from my neck of the woods. He's from Stockbridge, Georgia. So good to see Georgia being represented in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. So go figure that one. Going to the East Defensive Athlete of the Year, Tyler Brooks from Kutztown. I know Our own Matt Hagee is very happy to see that. They both went to Daniel Boone High School. Our friend Matt Hagee, very well known about Tyler Brooks at Kutztown, and he was also a second-team athlete of the year as well.
Yeah, Tyler Brooks getting the award for the East, and a player for Gannon getting it for the West. And they're going to be going head-to-head, so who's going to come out on top on that one? That's the answer that we got to find as we look at the Athlete of the Year, Devontae Chance. We've been talking about him all game long for IUP. Leads the team in scoring and one of the highest, most successful free throw shooters on this entire team.
But he has had an off game, and you go to the East Athlete of the Year, Matt Tobin. He's had an off game as well. Both of them getting a little bit into foul trouble. Tobin has not scored. Chance has 6 points for them from the free throw stripe. So the players of the year are, they're having struggles in this game, Cody. And why do you think that is?
Well, right now, it all depends on how often you change up your defenses. And your defenses are all based on the decisions of your coaches. And the coaches, these are the coaches of the year over in the West. Gary Manchell of Mercyhurst and Bernie Driscoll, of Kutztown. So both of those coaches, congratulations to them getting the PSAC Coaches of the Year for 2014-15.
Yeah, Gary Manchell leading Mercyhurst to their first 20-win year in a few years, and Bernie Driscoll leading Kutztown to the Final Four. You look at the men's scholar athlete for basketball. We mentioned him before, saw him at the beginning. Anthony Rocco, 3.743 GPA as a junior and majoring in communications media, so we probably understand a little bit of the courses he's going through. And besides just Rocco, we'll look at the other scholar athletes throughout the PSAC, or the team champions, for the PSAC. You see a lot of different names in there, a little bit of overlap as well with some of the teams, Westchester and California. But it looks like a lot of teams are really dominant in a bunch of different things.
Yeah, and that's a really good thing to see other schools excelling at different sports with the golfing and the cross country and everything. All 4 of those teams are completely different. Field hockey, Westchester, men's soccer, Mercyhurst. I know we saw a couple of the soccer games whenever we traveled out for football to cover some of the California football games. We saw some playoff soccer games up where we went.
And now we'll look at the COSIDA Academic All-Americans because, as always, student comes before athlete. In the women's basketball, it's Lindsay Stamp for IUP, third team, and Ian Vescovi for UPJ. He's the second team All-American academic-wise.
Yeah, Ian Vescovi getting it done in the classroom and on the court. That's what the PSAC strives to be all about. Excellent in the classroom and on the court.
Well, we will take one more break here on CUTV before we get back into second half action. 33-26 the score. East Stroudsburg up in front.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And we are back about 2.5 minutes until the second half gets underway. And Cody will look at the first half stats now for the game. And there's not really dominance in any category for everybody, as we'll take a look at those in just a second. But Cody, the one big thing is rebounds. And right now, IUP is actually out-rebounding East Stroudsburg, 6 of them from the offensive end. And we will actually wait to look at the halftime stats. We'll look at the other brackets in the Atlantic region right now. And of course that consists of the Mountain East and the CIAA. The CIAA is actually already wrapped up, as we'll see in just a moment. The Mountain East is still going on, and the Mountain East is home to West Liberty, at one time the #1 team in the entire nation. And Sean Dyer, I mentioned, he actually played there last year. And West Liberty had a chance to win a national title last year. They fell just short in the championship game, and they actually knocked IUP out in the NCAA regionals, and it took 3 overtimes to do it.
Well, see, that's the thing. Whenever you're talking about teams like this from other conferences right now, they all feel the pressure of potential playoffs and the Elite Eight and the Final Four and everything. So with the pressure being all mounted on their shoulders, that's still a lot to fight through. And no matter what might happen, you still had a great season for making it that far into the postseason. Like you said, West Liberty at one time was the #1 team in the country, so they had a lot to play for. And they had the throne, and they had the pressure of staying on that throne, if you will, if you get my analogy a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Yes, and we have about 30 seconds until the second half is underway. Cody, before it happens, if you're Coach Joe Lombardi for IUP, what do you tell your team facing a 7-point deficit to a very good offensive team?
That right now, you're still in this. East Stroudsburg did not take complete control yet. You have a 7-point deficit to get through, sure, but that's definitely reachable. That's definitely reachable for for IUP, excuse me, especially once you find the miscues for East Stroudsburg's defense, because they are not well known for their defense compared to their offense.
And if you're Coach Jeff Wilson of East Stroudsburg, how do you get your team to keep the pedal on the metal being up by 7 points?
Continue to find those flaws in the Crimson Hawk defense. Get down low, get the easy layups to fall through. Don't necessarily take the same strategy that IUP is trying to do with the long shots, because then you might fall on the short end of the stick.
And we are back with second half action now. Chance throws it down low to Jeffers. Chance with it now. Take a long three, no good. IUP has been forced into some threes that really they probably could have not taken and gotten a better look at.
It's not that they couldn't have taken them, it's that they probably didn't want to take, and that's probably why not so many of them are falling through.
It looked like there was a kick ball violation against IUP. East Stroudsburg will reset the shot clock and get the inbounds. Rasheed Moore down low. He has 10 points to go with Wis Grant, who also has 10 points. That's a game high. And now there's going to be a foul down low against IUP. That one's going on Daddy Ubede. That will be his 3rd foul, so he's in some early foul trouble here in the second half.
Yeah, the foul was away from the ball, so East Stroudsburg is going to have to inbound it again from underneath their own basket. That's the first foul of the half. IUP has 1, East Stroudsburg 0.
Tobin inbounds pass goes to Tillery all the way into the backcourt, try and set their offense up. They do have a fresh shot clock as well. Tillery to Moore, now controlled by Nawana Mecca. Brown to Tobin. Wis Grant not out here with the starting 5 for East Stroudsburg, and now an offensive foul called against Matt Tobin. I believe that is his 3rd. He is now in foul trouble as well.
Boy, that was an intense charge by Tobin. That was being his first foul, just completely knocked over Daddy Ubede on his back.
Chance will bring it up for IUP, still scoreless a minute into the half, 18:55 to go. Norfleet with it now. Norfleet gonna take a 3. That one's no good. Offensive rebound by Sean Dyer, and a foul called against East Stroudsburg. We'll see who this goes on. That one's gonna go on Will Brown, number 13.
And that was another 3-point shot that IUP probably didn't want to take. It seemed very hesitant, very unsure if he wanted to follow through on that one, but here you're going to see Brown reach up just a little too much for the ball on the rebound.
Chance will inbound it. Having trouble finding an outlet. Goes down low to Brandon Norfleet, but it's tipped out of bounds by Nawana Mecca.
So they'll get a retry here.
34 on the shot clock, 18:47 to go in the second half. Chance inbounds it to Ubede in the corner. Chance with it now. Circling around the defense, going to the hoop. Running layup, no good. Rebounded by Rasheed Moore. Throwing up Matt Tobin. Coming up quickly is the Warriors offense. In the corner for three, no good. That was Nawana Mecca with it.
Very quick transition by East Stroudsburg, trying to catch IUP with their defense to their back.
Dyer layup is good, and one coming. Rasheed Moore commits the foul, and that's Dyer's first made shot of this game. And maybe that'll light a fire in him to try and get something going for his team.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Zach. That's probably what he needed to get his offensive capabilities perked up a little bit. So now we're going to see him go to the free throw line to add another point, and if he makes this, then that all the more power to him.
Sean Dyer at the line to shoot one shot. 33-28 to score. Now 33-29, it's a 4-point deficit for IUP as they're trying to find their way back.
East Stroudsburg now with 3 team fouls in the second half already.
And that could definitely become critical late in this game. Tobin with it now. Throws it over to Nawana Mecca. Tobin back with it now. Finds number 5, Marquise Marshall, who's actually the son of Danielle Marshall, former NBA player. Marshall's shot, no good. Rebounded by Chance, throws it up, catches it himself. Dyer with it, takes the three. It's good. Sean Dyer, 6 straight points for the Crimson Hawks.
6-0 run in favor of Sean Dyer against East Stroudsburg. So now they're back to within 1.
And I mentioned, we both kind of did. Would that and 1 light something in him to get going? Tobin gonna take a 3. That one's no good, too strong. Rebounded by IUP. IUP can now take the lead if they make a shot.
IUP's bench is fired up right now. They're trying to get the crowd into it.
Chance with it now. Looked like he was maybe thinking about taking a 3, and I think at this point in the game, don't look at just forcing up some threes. Down low pass to Norfleet. Layup is good, and IUP takes the lead back.
Well, that was a fantastic pass down low for Norfleet, seeing him wide open down on the left square.
That was a great play. Norfleet went one way and then quickly on a dime, turned his ankles back the other direction and had an easy lane for the pass to go to him. Nawana Mecca to Marshall. Nawana Mecca at the top of the key. And now there's going to be a foul against East Stroudsburg. Rasheed Moore. That's already 14 fouls for the Warriors in this half, Cody. Everything is just not going their way so far.
And that's going to be Moore's second personal foul, of the game. But you're right, Zach. 14 fouls for East Stroudsburg right now, just as IUP came back with the lead, 34-33. So the tables are starting to turn a little bit in favor of the Crimson Hawks.
IUP with a 1-point lead, looking to extend it with 16:52 to go in the second half. Chance gonna bring it up, throws it over to Jeffers, takes the 3. It's good. Jeremy Jeffers makes it a 4-point game now, and IUP has come out with 11 straight points in this half.
The full court press didn't work for East Stroudsburg because IUP had them outnumbered 4-2 on the other end of the court.
And that's the problem with the full court press. If you break it, you have easy opportunities at the other end. Moore gonna take a 3 top of the key for East Stroudsburg. It is good off the backboard. Now it's a 1-point game. Going to be a timeout taken by East Stroudsburg. Actually, no timeout taken. They're going to say the ball was just caught and they were not able to find it, so we will have continued play here with 16:27 to go. Chance going to bring it up. Throws it to Jeffers. Norfleet thought about a 3 in the corner. Behind the back move for Brandon Norfleet. Now wearing that 23 in the red and black, that back of the jersey kind of looks like a Michael Jordan jersey, the way it looks on him. And he had a nice move there.
I never thought of that, Zach.
Ubede, spin around layup is good. Daddy Ubede has 4 points.
Lighting up the board on the baseline battle, 39-36.
Will Brown in the corner for 3. It's good, and we're all tied up again.
So East Stroudsburg putting more points on the board, keeping it close, not letting IUP run away with it. It's been back and forth.
Chance Gonna take a free throw line jumper. It's good. IUP is making everything right now on the offensive end.
Seemed like the other basket wasn't being that friendly to them, but this one here on the left side is.
41-39 to score. That's gonna be Kaba for three. No good. Rebounded by Brandon Norfleet. Chance gonna slow it down, bring it up. Under 16 to go. The next stop will be the First Media. We will take a quick break. 15:08 to go. Dyer gonna take a long three, hits front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Will Brown. He's gonna be fouled by Jeremy Jeffers, who tried to stop himself, but in the process pushed him over.
And in that three-point shot that Dyer made, that was just pure confidence throwing it up there. He knows he's capable of making it, and he knows he's lighting up his offense.
With 15:02 left, IUP has stormed back to take a 2-point lead in the First Media timeout. Come back for more action here on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And we are back. IUP with a 2-point lead. And Cody, one of our camera operators right next to us, Allison Steinheiser, told me during the break that Devontae Chance, coming into halftime, was screaming at his fellow Hawks that they need to play like a veteran team, and it seems that they have so far.
And look what happens. You know, sometimes that's all it takes to fire an offense up.
Nwanameka layup is good, and the foul could give East Stroudsburg the lead if he can make the shot. Foul's gonna go on Brandon Norfleet. That will be his first foul.
That's going to be IUP's third team foul of the half. East Stroudsburg still has 4. They've really cleaned up their play in the past couple minutes. We saw in the first about 4 or so minutes of the half, they got those 4 team fouls right away.
Nwanameka's free throw is good, and East Stroudsburg takes the lead quickly right after we came out of commercial break. Norfleet gonna bring it up for the Hawks. Norfleet with a team high 10 points for IUP. Chance, a nice behind the back move against his fellow athlete of the year. Long 2 for Chance is good, and it gives IUP the lead back.
Devontae Chance getting those long jumpers to fall through now. During the first half, didn't really see too many of them.
Kaba to Brown. Brown has made a couple of big threes for East Stroudsburg in this game. Tobin with it now. Brown driving in. Down low pass, stolen away by IUP. They're gonna call a jump ball possession, favors East Stroudsburg though.
Yeah, so the ball's going to stay in that end of the court. And East Stroudsburg is going to have 10 seconds on the shot clock to work with.
Norfleet and Cottrell will be checking out for Ubede and Dyer for IUP. 10 seconds to work with, like you said, Cody. Here's Nwanameka, long jumper, no good. Rebounded by Daddy Ubede.
Nwanameka was wide open on the near side for that shot. Just unfortunate for the Warriors that it didn't fall through.
Chance trying to drive in. Now goes to the hoop, and it's swatted away by Nwanameka. Great play there by the senior.
Yeah, and you don't see that too often, what Nwanameka was doing, but just putting pressure on the ball. You see the defenses do that sometimes, where everyone will play their zones, but there's always one guy on the ball all the time.
Now East Stroudsburg trying to take away the inbounds. That's Cabal all the way back in the backcourt. And I actually misspoke earlier. Nwanameka is actually only a junior, so he'll have another year with Coach Jeff Wilson. Dyer driving in to the hoop. Layup, no good, but a foul committed by Cabal.
Yeah, the foul is going to be on Cabal, and that is the 15th foul by East Stroudsburg. IUP still has 3, and they're clinging on to that 1-point lead.
13:32 to go. Dyer at the line, and a quick update. IUP women are also in action. They are playing Westchester at Bloomsburg University with 11 minutes and 51 seconds to go. IUP up 46-45, a very tight game in the eastern part of the state. Dyer's first free throw is good. It gives IUP a 2-point lead.
IUP still clinging on to that lead, relying on their free throw shooting. Very important aspect of the game.
And as I look down, IUP women have actually just fallen behind. Westchester now up 47-46. Dyer's second is good. It gives IUP a 3-point lead. Tobin going to bring it up for East Stroudsburg, and East Stroudsburg could easily tie this one back up. They are very good today at shooting the 3-point shots. Will Brown, 3 of 3 from distance so far, and he is in the game. Tobin with it at top of the key, driving in, feeding out into the corner. That's Cabal. Now Tobin in the corner, riding the baseline. Back to Cabal. He's going to the hoop. Layup is good. Mahamadou Cabal adds 2 more to his total, and that's actually his only 2 so far.
And that's what Tobin is known for, getting those crisp passes off to his teammates and creating opportunities.
Chance finds an outlet in Tevin Hanner. Dyer bringing it up to the hoop. It's good. Sean Dyer, he has sparked the fire under him in this half. Nwanameka layup, no good, but there's going to be a foul against IUP on that shot with 12:40 to go.
Looks like the foul is going to be on Devon Cottrell, actually.
And that's now 14 fouls for IUP, 5 for East Stroudsburg, so it looks like we're going to be shooting free throws very soon at the pace that these fouls have gone.
There's a handful of substitutions ready to check in for IUP, as well as 1 for East Stroudsburg.
Nwanameka at the line for 2 shots. His first is no good. It stays a 3-point game. Coming in for East Stroudsburg actually is 2 players. Harris and Cabal check out for Moore and Tillery. Cottrell, Hanner, and Yard check out for Norfleet, Ugbede, as well as Jeremy Jeffers of IUP. The second for Nwanameka is good, and it's a 1-possession game again. Norfleet bringing it up for IUP, hands it over to Devontae Chance. Jeffers to Ugbede. Chance with it now, guarded by Tobin. Gets a screen from Ugbede, makes his move, feeds it to Ugbede, almost loses control of it and still able to maintain and get the basket.
Ugbede had to catch that pass maybe about 3 times right after Tobin pushed off of him away from the ball, but there was no call there, so Ugbede, nice recovery and a layup.
Nwanameka feeds it to Moore for 3. It's no good, rebounded by Sean Dyer. Sean Dyer now at least 6 rebounds in this contest.
Sean Dyer getting close to another double-double here.
Ugbede spin around, spins again, circle button, then the square, putting in the layup.
Ugbede evading the defender, going for the layup, and that's something we didn't see IUP do too often in the first half.
Tobin trying to feed it out, but there's going to be an offensive foul called against East Stroudsburg. That's actually going on Tobin, and that's his 4th. 1 more, and he's out. And we've come to our second media timeout, 11:40 to go. IUP looks like they're maybe starting to pull away again, up 51-45 on CUTV's coverage of the PSAC Men's Final Four.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. we take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And we are back. IUP, after being down by 7 at halftime, have outscored East Stroudsburg 19-11 in, actually more than that, as I don't have my live stats updated, so I'll have to update that quickly. They're not updated, but they've updated them by, or outscored them by 13 points in this half, Cody.
And Sean Dyer, after getting that and one attempt, has really lit it up offensively, getting 11 points and 6 total rebounds. So he's 4 rebounds away from a double-double.
IUP, Danny Ugbede, gonna throw it up. Norfleet with it. Chance guarded heavily by Jaquan Jones for East Stroudsburg. Layup, Norfleet, no good. Does not get the friendly roll, but he will go to the line for 2 shots. That foul's going to go on number 1, Jamal Nwanameka.
That's the 7th team foul for East Stroudsburg. So that will send IUP into the single bonus right now. That's definitely an edge that the Warriors did not want to give to the Crimson Hawks, especially being down by 6 points.
Norfleet at the line to shoot 2. His first, no good, cannot extend the IUP lead. It stays at 6. Into the game now, Cottrell for Ugbede for IUP.
If IUP makes this free throw, that will be the largest lead they had all game.
The second is good, and they do indeed get that mark. Bringing up Jaquan Jones for East Stroudsburg. Feeds over to Will Brown. 11-10 to go. Will Brown's shot, no good. Rebounded by Sean Dyer. He now has 7 rebounds to go with 11 points.
3 away from the double-double.
11 minutes to go. IUP, they have really come to play in this second half, outscoring East Stroudsburg 26-12. Shot for IUP, no good. That was Chance who took it. Rebounded by Jaquan Jones, who throws it down low to Tillery. Layup is good, and East Stroudsburg's on the board. Timeout taken by Jeff Wilson in East Stroudsburg's bench.
And we saw this happen in the first half. IUP took a little bit of control going into near the halfway point of a half. Then East Stroudsburg took a timeout, and then they took complete control. So who knows if we'll see a repeat of that as you take a look at some of the replays that we have seen during this second half. Here's a long 2-point shot, actually, by Devontae Chance. The long shots that IUP has taken haven't really fallen that much in the first half, but now in the second half, we're starting to see them create a lot more offensive opportunities, and that's why they have the lead back after being down by 6 or 7 points at halftime.
Yeah, and the thing that's working for them is they're getting inside. They're breaking the defense of East Stroudsburg. East Stroudsburg's trying to go in that full court press, but IUP throws it up quickly, and they have numbers against East Stroudsburg's defense to be able to work something inside. And then on the other end, East Stroudsburg just has not been hitting the shots that they were in the first half, towards the end of it at least. They started out a little bit slow, but picking up, they started hitting the threes and getting some layups to fall in. They haven't done that this half.
Yet luck is definitely what's really been helping IUP right now. But like you said before, Devontae Chance going into halftime was screaming at his fellow players, saying that they need to play better and play more like a veteran team, and look what happens. That's all it takes sometimes to fire an offense up, and it definitely has worked.
10 minutes and 43 seconds away from possibly knowing who will represent the PSAC in the championship, at least one side of it. Chance loses the ball out of bounds. It's going to go off of Tillery, though, who is there trying to steal it away. It's going to be IUP possession, 32 to shoot, and they will get a reset of being able 10 seconds to get across court.
I don't know if there's an inbound where East Stroudsburg did not go full court press.
You know what? You're right. They have done it basically all game. Maybe at the beginning they kind of relaxed off of it, but since the second half when IUP started storming back, they have gone full court press, and honestly, I don't know how much it's working for them as they're down by 5 points. Chance with it. Trying to go down low, tries to step back. Now he's guarded there, loses the ball. Jaquan Jones feeds it up to Will Brown. His layup is good, and it's back to a 3-point contest.
Will Brown, seeing that play happen, alertly sprinted back down to the other end of the court to get wide open for the stretch pass.
Jeffers thought about 3. He'll step in, go to the hoop. That's a blocking foul, and the shot will count. And that foul's going to go on Will Brown, and it's back to a 5-point game. Jeffers at the line attempting the and one.
Yeah, watch this here. Will Brown did not have his feet set whenever Jeffers charged down the baseline area to get the shot off. So that's what drew the defensive foul instead of the offensive one.
It was a very close call, though. At first sight, it looked like he may have had his feet set, but I agree with you, Cody. It looked like he was just late getting there. Jeffers at the line attempting one shot under 10 minutes to go, and it's still a 5-point game after that miss. Jaquan Jones going to bring it up. He's getting a lot more playing time because Matt Tobin in foul trouble. Jones' layup is no good. Again, another example of the unfriendly roles East Stroudsburg is getting now.
It seems like it's been that basket because you never like to speculate that way, but IUP had a lot of unfriendly bounces over on that right basket too. So now they're for East Stroudsburg.
Norfleet feeds it over to Jeffers. His 3. No good, just rims out. Offensive rebound, Cottrell puts in the little floater, and it's a 7-point lead again.
Cottrell with the big offensive rebound to get those 2 points on the board. It seemed like half of the court was already filing back, but he alertly waited for the ball to come to him.
Nowanameka 3-pointer. That one's no good. Offensive rebound, East Stroudsburg, no. Devontae Chance controls it. Norfleet going to the hoop. Easy layup is good. It's a 9-point game, largest lead for IUP in this game.
IUP's bench and their fans are fired up right now. They're really starting to get into it.
East Stroudsburg looked like they're playing maybe a little panic. Ball stolen away. Jeremy Jeffers lands out of bounds, though, after he takes it away. 8:44 to go. We're going to see Tobin come into the game with those 4 fouls. One more, and he's going to have to sit the rest of the way and see if his teammates can make up the 9-point deficit.
But see, now East Stroudsburg knows that they need to take some risks to make some opportunities happen. Because right now, it's all or nothing. So you put one of your most valuable offensive assets onto the court, regardless of foul trouble, to get more opportunities on the board, being Matt Tobin.
Kabah feeds it over to number 4, Wes Cherry. He's in the game for the first time. Kabah, top of the key with it. Nowanameka has it. Over in the corner for 3. East Stroudsburg makes it. That is Kabah.
That was a big 3-point shot to get East Stroudsburg back within striking distance here, 58-52.
And that's the thing, there's a lot of time left, but it seems like IUP has been playing this way the whole half. East Stroudsburg has to get something going now to be able to propel themselves to get closer as the second half will wind down. 8 minutes to go, so our next stop will be the 3rd media timeout. Devontae Chance, alley-oop Chance, Tevin Hanner not able to control it, falls out of bounds. He's slow to get up. East Stroudsburg in control, 5-on-4. Nowanameka layup, no good. Rebounded by Chance. Cottrell has it, feeds it to Chance. Norfleet now. Crazy action picking up here in the Hammermill Center. Chance thought about a 3. He's gonna stop his progress. Chance, layup is good. It's back to an 8-point lead. There's gonna be a stoppage on the play. Looks like Tevin Hanner is hurt. We're just going to call this the media timeout. 7:28 to go.
He took an awkward fall on the left end of the court, and when he got up, I saw him hobbling a little bit as he was going down to the other end of the court, so they're probably tending to him right now.
So we will take a break. IUP up by 8. East Stroudsburg going to have to make a move quickly. 7:28 to go here on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And we're back. IUP with a 60-52 lead, and it's been IUP's offense this half. They're making 14 of 21 shots in this half compared to 7 of 17 for East Stroudsburg, Cody.
Yeah, and in the first half, IUP's field goal percentage was 9 for 26. They nearly doubled their percentage from the floor in this second half alone. So far, anyway, that's taken into account the whole first half for the first 2/3 or so of the second half. But still, very impressive feat and a big turnaround for the Crimson Hawks.
7:28 to go. It'll be IUP ball. Cherry going to inbound it to Tobin, who has 4 fouls, so he has to watch his play. The Warriors control it. Top of the key, that's Tobin. 23 to shoot, 7:15 to go. Tobin looking for an outlet, finds Kaba. Now Nawana Mecca. Kaba with it in the far wing. Gets a screen from Harris. Tobin looking inside, now feeds it to Nawana Mecca. Try to reverse layup, gets it back. Tobin thought about a 3, now steps in, and the shot clock violation. The shot would have counted had it gone off in time, but it didn't.
And if Tobin would have taken the shot for himself, then it would have been a shot clock violation. But Tobin, that's just his way of playing. He creates the opportunities, doesn't necessarily take them, just creates them. So that one extra pass costed the shot clock violation for East Stroudsburg.
Yeah, and honestly, Tobin looks like one of those players that he's not afraid to shoot necessarily, but he doesn't look to shoot, as we're getting a timeout called by IUP after Dyer's having troubles getting the inbounds pass. But you know, Tobin, we mentioned before, he's a different style of player of the year. First one to do it without averaging 10 points a game, and we're seeing why. He looks for his teammates to do the work instead of himself.
That's what he does. He looks for an open player first before he takes the shot himself. Most players, whenever you take a shot, you look for the basket first, as we see just the complete dominance that IUP has taken in this second half so far, nearly doubling their shooting percentage from the floor, as we saw a lot more layup attempts made, a lot more going down low to the net, and also taking the long jump shots that have been given friendly bounces. In the first half, we didn't see that too much, with the 34% success rate from the floor.
And a quick update, IUP women, they're up 56-55 with 3.5 minutes left in their contest against Westchester after a Sharifa Junaid made free throw for the Golden Rams. Dyer tries to throw it down low to Ubedi, but it hits the foot of look-like Steve Harris. 6:47 to go in the second half still.
Yeah, the ball was kicked, so IUP is going to get another inbound from underneath the basket.
Dyer will inbound it. Finds Ubedi, back to Dyer. Thought about a 3 in the corner. Now he will be fouled by Rashid Moore. That's going to send Dyer to the line for a 1-and-1.
And that is the 9th team foul by East Stroudsburg in this half. So one more is going to send IUP into the double bonus. And with an 8-point deficit on your hands, East Stroudsburg really needs to be careful now to not give the Crimson Hawks any more opportunities to extend the lead. IUP still only has 14 fouls in the half, so they have a few more to give.
Yeah, and that's what East Stroudsburg's having trouble with. They're not driving in and getting the fouls called against IUP, whereas IUP, every time they go to a layup, it seems like it's either going to go in or it's going to miss, and they'll get the foul called.
Or sometimes both.
And we have seen some both. You've seen Dyer, Norfleet, Chance even do that in this half. Dyer's first free throw is good, and it extends it back to a 9-point lead, matching the largest lead of the day for any team in this contest.
6:44 left to go in the half.
Dyer now in double digits with points. He has 12. does not make it 13 after the miss. 6:40 to go. Nawana Mecca controls it for the Warriors. Over to Moore. Thought about a three. Now throws it into the corner. Matt Tobin circling around. Feeds it back to Tillery for three. That one's no good. Offensive rebound, Nawana Mecca. Rasheed Moore layup is good, and it's a 7-point lead.
And that's a big layup for East Stroudsburg, as well as a big offensive rebound to get that second opportunity and put those 2 points on the board.
Now, long pass out of bounds. Chance trying to go all the way down the court to Jeremy Jeffers. Costly turnover for IUP as it gives the ball right back to East Stroudsburg.
Just a little bit too tall of a pass. I think Chance might have thought he was all the way down at the corner, so he threw it a little higher and a little farther than he might have wanted to, but it got tipped out of bounds by him, so East Stroudsburg gets the ball.
Tobin bringing it up. Tobin still has not scored yet in this game. He does have 5 assists, though. He also has 5 turnovers, so that assist to turnover ratio not favoring him today. Will Brown, under 6 to go for the Warriors. Tobin with it now, 10 to shoot. Steps in, Brown, a long three. Almost good, it just rims out. That would have been a big shot for the Warriors.
That's what they call an NBA three, and if that would have fallen through, then all the momentum would have probably instantly shifted towards the Warriors.
Yeah, we have not seen that moment like we did in the first half, where the momentum went back to the Warriors as Norfleet drives in for a layup and makes it back to a 9-point lead. Tobin gonna step back, try and figure out where he wants his troops to go. Feeds over to Will Brown. Back to Tobin. Nawana Mecca. Layup, no good. Rebounded by Devon Cottrell after it bounces through some of the East Stroudsburg hands.
Now IUP is going to be taking their time a little bit because they saw East Stroudsburg fall back instead of going for the press like they usually do, so they don't need to hurry getting across the half-court line.
And you also only have 4 minutes and 46 seconds left. Start eating up some of that shot clock. Dyer gonna take a three. It's good. IUP now up by 12.
The first double-digit lead by either team so far in this contest, and it belongs to the Crimson Hawks.
Will Brown, thought about a three, trying to cross over. He's gonna get fouled by Brandon Norfleet. He will not go to the line though because it's not a shooting foul, and East Stroudsburg is not in the bonus yet.
Yeah, that's going to be the 5th team foul against IUP, so that doesn't send them into the bonus, but East Stroudsburg don't have any fouls left to give. They only have 9 in the half. One more sends IUP into the double bonus. So they've been doing a good job keeping this game relatively close while playing clean basketball at the same time.
You see Norfleet, Jeffers check out, Hanner and Yard coming in for IUP. Tobin, down low pass to Kaba. It's blocked by Devon Cottrell, but they're going to call a foul. That was a 21 against 21 matchup, and Kaba's going to go to the line and try and bring his team closer.
Yeah, Rasheed Moore's offensive rebound and shot will not count. They didn't put it up on the board, so it's going to send Kaba to the line.
That is the 3rd foul on Cottrell. The first free throw from Mohamedou Kaba is good. It's an 11-point lead.
Kaba so far in this game did not have a free throw attempt, so that was his first one.
And updating the other IUP game quickly, with 23 seconds left, Westchester is up 61-59 on the IUP women. That could be a big upset out east as IUP, the 7th-ranked team in the country. Now Dyer gets the inbounds pass here at the Hammermill Center, where IUP is trying to hold on to a 10-point lead with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. Chance. Circling on the defense, thought about making a move. Now he will ride the baseline. Layup is good. Devontae Chance.
Devontae Chance, along with Dyer, very quiet in the first half, on fire in the second. 4 minutes left.
Will Brown feeds it over. That's Moore. Now in the corner with it. That's Kaba. Now Tobin. Tobin stepping in. And there's going to be a foul against IUP that will still not send Tobin to the line, but we have 3:48 left. Our final media timeout, our final break. IUP trying to hold on to a 12-point lead here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
And we are back. IUP with a 12-point lead with 3:48 left to go. And Cody, what do you tell East Stroudsburg if you're Coach Jeff Wilson? How do you overcome a 12-point deficit in just under 4 minutes?
Well, if you're East Stroudsburg right now, you need a big event to go into your favor. We saw it earlier on in this half, but what I believe was the big momentum shifter for IUP was when Devontae Chance had the and one fall through and he made the free throw. And right now, East Stroudsburg is getting their chance at the free throw line, so we'll see if the tables can turn for the Warriors.
Tobin, his first free throw is good. That's his first point of the entire game, and it took him just about 37 minutes of game action to get it.
And if you can believe it, Zach, to this very point, both teams have 2 blocks and 11 turnovers, both. Very even in terms of that.
Yeah, not a lot of turnovers today, and usually that's where East Stroudsburg makes a lot of their points. In their last matchup against Millersville, they had 26 points off turnovers. A very big contest. We're going to get a foul called against East Stroudsburg here now, and that will send IUP into the double bonus.
And that foul is going to be on Will Brown.
And he has effectively taken himself out of this game because that's his 5th. He has fouled out now.
3:45 left, fouling out. I didn't even notice that, Zach. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even know he had 5. I looked up on the board and said 5 next to his number. So he has fouled out of this contest with 3:45 to go, and he has been East Stroudsburg's best 3-point shooter all day. That leaves them something to fill out on the court. They've not made a lot of the threes in this half.
That's a big hit that East Stroudsburg is going to have to take. They're going to need to literally write up anything that they can to spark this offense, because we've seen it. One event can completely spark an offense.
Sean Dyer at the line for 2. It's a 10-point lead for the Crimson Hawks. 3:45 to go. The first for Dyer is good. He now has 16 points. He is 6 of 8 at the line today. Dyer, the grad student for IUP, makes the second as well. And that's a 12-point lead again for IUP.
Tobin still out there on the court regardless of his foul trouble.
Tobin feeds it over. That is Kabah. Tobin back with it. 21 to shoot. Tobin takes a 3. No good. Rebounded by Cottrell.
And Tobin just trying to get something started, but that right basket hasn't been very friendly to either team that has shot at it. So Tobin just had bad luck on the bad bounce with that 3-point shot.
Dyer gets trapped. Tevin Hanner feeds it to Cottrell. Now IUP just trying to kill some clock. Norfleet behind the back. Feeds over to Chance. Kabah tried to get the ball away from Chance. Dyer thought about a 3. Now he will take it. No good. Rebounded by Cottrell. That's a big offensive board.
They usually say if you look at the rim once, then look down, then look at it again and shoot, that you'll miss it every time. And that's what happened to Chance there. But I think his main intent was for it to hit the rim, get an offensive rebound, and kill more time off the clock.
And now there will be a foul against East Stroudsburg. This one's going against Kabah and Cody. A big development out east in the women's tournament. Westchester has upset the #1 seed in the West. IUP 63-59 the final score. Dallas Ely for Westchester, 26 points in the game. So Westchester will meet the winner of California and Bloomsburg in the final tomorrow afternoon, which you can see on PCN starting at 1 o'clock. And IUP, their men, they're trying to hold on here. They are up by 13 now, their largest lead of the game. Chance not able to hit the second, it stays at 13.
And now if you're East Stroudsburg, this is when desperation time starts to kick in. We might see some early threes here or a couple really touchy passes that you might not see teams normally make.
Tobin with it. Feature Nwanameka, he's going to take a three. No good, rims out, and it seems like I've been seeing that every time East Stroudsburg has taken a three this half. Chance throws it up, Dyer now with it, and he will be fouled from behind by Tillery. He'll go to the line to shoot two with 2:13 to go.
And with how strong the free throw shooting is for Indiana, it's looking like all of these extra chances at the free throw line, they can really extend their lead because they've been in the double bonus for the past 2 or 3 fouls now. East Stroudsburg's in the single bonus, but right now IUP is definitely not playing to foul.
Dyer's free throw is good. That gives Sean Dyer 18 points. That's a game high in this one. He also has 7 rebounds, just shy of a double-double.
He has 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to get it.
Makes the second, now 19 points for the grad student. He has really come on in the last few weeks or so for IUP. Tobin feeds it over to Nwanameka. Tobin with it now again in the near wing. To Kaba. Nwanameka in the far wing now. East Stroudsburg passing along the perimeter. Tillery going to take it to contested three, no good. Rebounded by Dyer, only 2 more needed to get that double-double now.
Yet another unlucky bounce by East Stroudsburg, and it's no doubt that they're getting frustrated with it.
And now there will be a foul called against East Stroudsburg. Dyer going to go to the line. That foul's going to go on Matt Tobin, and Tobin has now fouled out of this contest. The PSAC East Player of the Year fouling out of what could possibly be his last game as a collegiate player, because East Stroudsburg, in all likelihood, needed to win the PSAC tournament to get into the NCAAs.
And that is there's 94 seconds left in the game, and East Stroudsburg has now had 2 players foul out. So they're playing with a really short bench right now. So fewer substitutions means more tired players as the game continues to go on.
Dyer at the line misses his first. Devon Cottrell going to check out, getting a hand from his bench. And I think IUP starting to realize that we're going to be advancing as long as we can hold on to a 16-point lead with 1.5 minutes to go. Jaquan Jones into the game now after Tobin fouled out. Rasheed Moore jumper, no good. Rebounded by Jeffers. Tillery not going to foul just yet. And I don't think he will. Chance able to escape. Ball almost lost. IUP still has it.
Give credit to Tillery there, going all out on the court trying to get that ball. But yeah, East Stroudsburg definitely not playing to foul right now.
I think they have accepted that with 1 minute left, it's hard to overcome a 16-point deficit with 1 minute left. Norfleet jumper, and now it's 18 points.
77 to 58, or 77 to 58 to score now in favor of IUP.
And it's actually 76-58. They're going to say that was a 2, not a 3, after his foot was on the line.
Okay, it was a long 2. 40 seconds.
Tillery to Jones. Nwanameka going to step back for a long 2 for himself. That one's no good, rims out. Rebounded out of bounds. East Stroudsburg ball. It just seems like IUP has really been cleaning up on the boards this half as well. And total, they have now 37 rebounds against 23 for East Stroudsburg.
Now the shot clock has been turned off. There's 31 seconds left.
And Devontae Chance has checked out for IUP now, giving him some rest before the championship game tomorrow. Now there's going to be a foul against IUP. Tillery going to go to the line for 2. That foul is going to be on Jeremy Jeffers.
And that's the 8th team foul by IUP. So East Stroudsburg has been in the single bonus all this time, but just we haven't seen a foul by the Crimson Hawks in a really long time.
Tillery's first shot is good. And that's the first time East Stroudsburg has scored in a very long time, it seems. I know they've scored in there, but it seems like they haven't gotten very many momentum baskets in this half. Tillery's second free throw is good as well, and Lamont Tillery now with 7 points. Dyer can run out the rest of the clock. IUP 76-60, looks like it'll be the final score unless anything changes. They will be advancing and facing the winner of Gannon-Kutztown in the championship tomorrow, Cody.
For the 2015 PSAC title, IUP has just sealed their ticket to Sunday's game against either Gannon or Kutztown, just like you said, and for the PSAC championship with the 76-60 victory.
And they wait to see who they'll play, Kutztown or Gannon. Gannon they're familiar with. Kutztown, a surprising team coming out of the East after upsetting East Westchester, the number 2 seed out there. For everyone on our crew, Cody Jeanette, camera people, Gary Smith, our director, I'm Zach Prosser. Thank you for watching. IUP beats East Stroudsburg and advances to the PSAC Men's Basketball Championship game.